Okay, so you're in Arizona now. John Gannon, I know him from Philly. Great guy, hell of a coach. You got to be excited about all the verticals, the shots. Have you given him shit about that clip yet?
Pew pew pew.
do you do you view it, John?
I saw the video like you. Like I think what I love about Coach Gannon is like he brings energy every day, right?
Yeah,
And the staff that he hired, you can say what you want. They're all young. Like a lot of them haven't, been in coordinator positions or called plays or
yeah,
whatever, but they're all excited to be here. They bring a lot of juice. They have an answer every time I ask a question. Like,
yeah,
it's a fun staff for sure.
yeah. What's the difference between playing for a defensive head coach and an offensive head coach? Because you've had both. The way it structures and trickles down to the players.
Yeah. There's seems to be tons of conversation about that, right? What's better? Like, can you develop quarterbacks if you got a defensive head coach? Like, I think Coach Gannon's been great, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that you got to sit through a couple team meetings where you're talking about, Robert inside and Robert outside and Robert drop and all like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, okay, like, but for the most part, I think that he really has done a good job of like setting the expectations early, like from day
Yeah.
one, right? Here's who I want us to become. Here's how we're going to get there. Now let's go. Let's start implementing all these things and have a great camp. So we've only been with them for 9 weeks, right? But I feel
Yeah.
like as a team, you know, outside of this building, right? Nobody really knows what's going on. There's some storylines out there about like, oh,
Yeah.
what are the Arizona Cardinals going to do this year, right? Like,
Yeah.
you cut your star receiver or whatever. There's a lot of questions, but I think for what we've been able to accomplish over these 9 weeks in the summer has been a lot, right? Like,
Yeah.
and the one thing that I respect about Coach Gannon and Monty and sort of the whole front office is different too, right? They've come in here and like just said, we're going to evaluate everybody. Here's our expectations. Here's what we want to do. Here's who the team that we want to be. Here's our philosophy on offense and defense. Like, nothing's really a secret right now. It's all like
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Mm-hmm. And how about J.J. Watt's retirement? Because I was kind of surprised by it. He was still playing at a high level. Was that something guys in the locker room saw coming, or was that kind of last month of the season thing where we started learning about it?
Yeah. I mean, I got to be pretty close with JJ over the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Kind of your older guys kind of flock together, right? Like in
Future
the locker.
podcaster, JJ.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I just talked to him the other day, so he's getting ready to start, getting in the media.
Yeah, he's got his hands in all kinds of stuff, with the soccer team and
Yep.
all that. But I think, one of the conversations I had with JJ without putting all his, life out there is like, I know that he was writing him letters like himself later in the season about like how his body felt. Like I will not do this next year. I will not
Mm-hmm.
put myself in the, like, and
JJ,
so
do not.
I thought that was my indication of like, wow, he's really taking this seriously. And I probably was one of the few, maybe the only one who was like, yeah, but you'll come back and play, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he would look me dead in the eyes and be like, nope, I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm not. Like, the NFL has been amazing to me. It's provided me with so many things. I just can't put my body through this again. And, sure enough, he stuck to it.
No
And I thought
question.
the
I
way it
mean,
ended in San Francisco, like you're on the road in the division. They're probably going to go to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
We're not making the playoffs, and
Yeah.
makes a sack, and they give him we pull him out of the game, and they give him a standing ovation. Like, that's sort of that's one of the coolest things I've seen. Right,
That's a great way to go out, man. He had a
yeah,
great
like that's
career.
not going to happen for most people, and
No, and it's
that was
good to go. It's good to go out playing at a high level, and that's
yeah,
what he did. I mean, and he's able to read those letters and say, "Hey, I don't want to feel like this next
yeah,
year." So,
exactly.
with Kyler, what's your job when it comes to like, he's taken some shit the last year. There are bumps in the road. There are injuries. There's in today's game, like there's a lot of rumors and that sort of thing. You are a guy who's been around, and I feel like anybody you're around, you're going to have a positive effect on. what is your very unique role with Kyler? Not just getting him ready to play, but like getting him ready to embark on this journey where he gets back on a heater.
Yeah, right. Which I think we at least I know that he can. Like
Yeah.
he can do some things that nobody else can do. Right. And you talk about when I think about playing the quarterback position and like if I'm going to evaluate somebody, like the number one thing I'm going to put on the chart is accuracy.
Yeah.
Right. And like Kyler's accuracy is insane,
Yeah.
especially being a shorter guy. Like
Yeah.
it's impressive how he throws the ball over the middle. It's impressive how he puts the ball outside. Like he can do it all. Now he's coming off injury. I think the challenge for us for like our quarterback room, for me even is, hey, okay, this is an entirely new system. This
Yeah.
is like from square one. Like
Yeah.
the philosophies are like it's all laid out there. It's different. Like this is different than what we did. Like what's the best way to learn this, right? Kyler, we've been in the same system he's been in it for 3 years. I was in it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I think when you're coming off a knee and you're spending a lot of time in the training room and you're working out, you're trying to strengthen, you're trying to get back out on the field, like as important as all that is like sitting in the meeting rooms and understanding even the little things like cadence or like what we like who's the read, which side of the field we work, just things that like getting those reps are almost invaluable. So how do you somehow try to like get as much as you can without actually taking the ball, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he's done a really good job. I think the coaches have done a really good job. But I think for us in the room, it's just communicating, talking. Hey, like I had a conversation with him today. Like, hey, like here's one of the footwork things they're asking us to do that like has been hard for me. Right, I've been doing it one way for almost 20 years, and now we're flipping our feet and like trying to play it a little bit different. I was like, whenever you get out on the field, like you need to call me because this is probably the most different thing that we're doing than what we're used to. That's going to be hard to like understand.
Yeah.
And so just things like that. I mean, he's obviously like I've never gone through an ACL. I've had some a pretty significant injury, and like those dark spots you get into. Like those days where you're just like I'm plateaued. I'm not feeling any better. Like I think that he's handled all of that like really well.